Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's the same Leggy here representing Team JVS, here to give you guys another movie review, and I'm talking about Angel Studios' David. Now, this is a very ambitious project that they've been working on for the past 3 to 4 years. Now, there is a young David miniseries, like maybe 5 minute episodes, maybe 5 to 6 minute episodes, about 5 episodes, that kind of go and walk you through a little bit about who David is as a warrior, as up and coming youth, as a poet, as a worshiper, and as a shepherd. And this movie goes through and traverses through the course of his life and who he is, who he becomes, and also the lineage that comes from David as a whole and the house of David. Now, there's a lot of different forms of David. There's actually a Amazon Prime like show, literally called The House of David. Um, and then over the years, we've seen different versions of David versus Goliath and what that actually means. But I don't think that we've quite seen anything like this. And whether you know it or not, Angel Studios is a faith-based organization in studio that kind of establishes themselves and pride themselves on what does it mean to glorify God through the art of cinema, and what does that actually mean? And I think that what they've done with King of Kings and even Last Rodeo, and even with this may be their most ambitious and also their most accurate interpretation of what it actually means to show a person that is grounded in faith and going and traversing through it. And I think that they picked the perfect soul for it. So first off, I'm going to say from an animation standpoint, they do their job. They've because I looked at the mini series just to kind of see what the animation looked like in comparison, and animation was okay. It was good, great water effects, certain moments, but there's a moment in this movie, and you can see it in the trailers, where David is basically kind of singing, "I shall not be afraid," where he's walking literally to a river, and he's just kind of going slowly going through the water to find this stone that just happens to have like a little butterfly floating over it, and he knows this is the stone he's supposed to take. And then he goes and takes that stone, he walks up a hill, and to watch and see how like the panel shot shows like the flowers and the wind and the connection with what's happening. So it's kind of like they handle the animation with such care, because even down to the pigmentation and skin color and the facial mannerisms, the eye colors, they is well animated. Like it is. Like it's not like cheap in any way, shape, or form. Like it is really well done. And they do use 3D animation, but it feels like that's why kind of like claymation. It's not claymation, but it's as sharp as claymation you would see to believe it's kind of semi-real, but then you know that it is CG animation. So when you see like David in the water or in the rain, or when there's an action sequence, or when David is having like a real moment where he is singing or dancing, like everything feels natural. And also I think the way they handle like all the other not NPCs, all the other characters that are kind of going around him, whether they are existing in the background or small little things. There's a moment where David is going and walking with his mother, and you're talking about the tapestry and singing, where in the beginning of the movie, you see David go, and I think there's like this small little family, and they're trying to get like some fruit. Again, this is in the background, and like the shop owner is not giving it to him. And then later on, David does a thing, and you see that same exact shop owner and these same exact folks, where the shop owner is just basically giving it out to these people. And it's just small little details like that that's throughout this whole entire thing. And the other thing about it is, if you've seen the other five, there are certain characters that are in certain episodes that show up in the actual movie too, which is actually a really cool little nudge. But dude, I think the thing that won me over more than anything is how accurate they depict David, right? Again, David is very much so a man after God's own heart. Like he has unshakable faith, right? And believes. That's why he's so bold and brave and fearless, right? Regardless of who he's in front of. The thing that makes it so interesting is that David makes mistakes. Like he is not gonna always get it. And there's some critical mistakes that he makes, and he has to repent for it, deal with it, and keep moving forward. But the repentance side of it is even more key. But the other side of it is like how he doesn't want any smoke. He wants to do what's right, and he wants to, stay out of it. He doesn't want to be what he's meant to be, which is a king. And I think the other thing about it is the way they also depict Saul. Like I was surprised. Like if you see the David TV show, you know that David is wrestling with his own inner turmoil, demons, and things that he's forsaken his relationship with God for ambition, blind ambition. And like the way they handle Saul and David in this is probably the best that I think I've ever seen. Because they cannot exist in the same exact space, right? But yet there are moments that are just so amazing and beautiful and important. Foundationally, there are things in this movie that talk about um true evangelism, which is meeting the person where they're at, or true discernment and understanding of what is it that I want versus what I'm called to be and do and what I'm supposed to be doing. And then even more than that, like whether you got something that's a destiny that's bigger than you, what do you do with the little person, like the person that isn't directly affected but is completely affected? And I think that they handle those three different subsects with the different character interactions, whether it's like David interacting with the soldiers at a very young age, or interacting with Saul's son, or interacting with his own family and their trepidation with what's going on. It's just so engaging. And also, man, like the score for this, I wish it had more recognition because the score is beautiful. And I'm not just talking about the songs. I'll get to the songs in a second. I'm talking about the actual score. The score is on it. There are moments in the second to third act transitions, and even some moments in the beginning that the score is just moving. Like it is breathing life into what's going on. And honestly, I haven't seen anything quite like this since King of Kings, yes, but really since Prince of Egypt. Like to me, David, I think, has the possibility or could have had the possibility of being what Prince of Egypt was. Now, granted, Prince of Egypt had like A-list actors, had Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey in it. And I'm not making a comparison with that because you can't. But there are some amazing, impactful songs in this. There are some foundationally important things about being a follower of God and being a believer, or even understanding what it means to do right or have faith, like that are soaked into this, that are just handled with so much care that I really truly appreciate. So it's kind of like if you're a believer, I think you're gonna love this, and this is something that you can share and disseminate with your family. But there's also moments that's also very dark too. Like there are deaths in this, there are violent moments, and there are things that happen that I didn't anticipate them going down this route. But if you aren't a believer and you're just kind of engaged with the story, like I think you're gonna rally behind it. Like you'd be surprised, like you would think that like Disney or Universal made this and it's just like, oh wow, like this is something that I can connect with my kids about just based off the story. And one of the things that I think that a lot of people, it's undeniable, whether you believe or not, is that the greatest story ever told is through the Bible. Like some of these stories are just amazing. And if from what we know David to be and how this movie depicts him, I think it's a great interpretation of it. And I think it is very well made in the sense that I think this is not something you can miss. So I highly recommend you go and check out David. Yeah, I give it a 9 to 9.5 out of 10. And it's I think the more interesting thing is I've seen a lot of animated films this year. K-pop Demon Hunters, Demon Slayer. Man, I even seen the new Jujutsu Kaisen Execution. I've seen Chainsaw Man. I've seen Echo. I've seen a lot of animated films this year. But this does stand out. This really does stand out, and I think that it would behoove you to not go and check it out. Go and check out David from Angel Studios, coming out December the 19th. I'm not sure how soon it's going to come to VOD or digital, but this is the same day that Avatar is coming out as well. But I think it's if if you have young kids and you know for a fact that you're going to be watching maybe a double feature, or you may watch something the day after. Um, do know that if you want to take your kids, it is free. Like you can get tickets for your kids for free to go and check it out. And I think it is a engaging enough story. It's well put together, and it's oh man, I didn't even talk about the voice acting and the freaking songs. I'm sorry. I gave it a 9.5 out of 10, but the songs are excellent. The voice acting cast does their thing. That's all I can say. I there are certain songs in this um yeah that mean a lot, that mean a lot. Like Shalom, from a worshiping standpoint, a worship song, ooh, so freaking good. Tapestry, if you love a good duo song, that's it. um yeah, there's some really good songs in this, and I think that they got such a talented voice acting cast. I mean, heck, from one of the actors, was it? I thought it was God, what was it? Adam Michael Gold that plays the role of Saul. He was literally just Achilles in Eyes of um the Black Panther, or Eyes of Wakanda. Um but yeah, no, they've got some really good talent in this one. And I'll give credit to the two leads. One is a young David that's played by Brandon Ingham. Like he was also the voice for the young David in the songs there. And then Phil Wickham. They do some they are singing. They are killing it, and I'm really in love with how they handle it. But yeah, yeah. So go and check it out. Let me know what you guys think. I'll talk to you guys a bit later on. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace, people.